Hi everyone, welcome to Code Debugger. In previous video we learned how to create a REST application in Python, and in this video we are going to learn how we can create a Docker image out of this application and we will deploy that in the Docker container. Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss any update from the Code Debugger. So let's start creating a Docker file. So Docker file should be there in the root level and the file name should be Docker file. Okay, so now we'll use the Python 3.12 version, whatever we have in our application, right? We are using 3.12, so I'll use the Python 3.12 and I will use a slim version of that. So our working directory will be, let's say, /up. So what we will do now, I will copy our requirement.txt file inside the container. Okay, so for that we will use the copy command here. The requirement.txt I will use, and that should copy to the app directory. So working directory is app, right? I will copy to the app directory now. After that, what we did, we ran the command called pip install, right? The same command I will run here. So run pip install, then I can use no cache so that it will not create any caching directory, so that our image will be lightweight and there will not be any caching directory will be created. And then requirement.txt, the same file will run. Once the application is installed, what we will do, I will copy whatever the code we have written here, right? The code will copy to our app directory inside the container, right? So copy, and to copy whatever is there inside the application and to copy to the app directory. Okay, now I'll expose a port called 8080 port. Okay, so whatever we have exposed here, right, this is not required. This is required only to test in the local. Now this is not required. I will comment this code, and I have exposed here the port. Then what I'll do, to run the application, right, to run the server here, what you are using, uvcon run, right? The host and port we are passing, the same command will run here. sh means it will run the Linux. In Linux we will run the script file, right? It's kind of bash file it will run. So now we'll run the command called uvcon. Then our root directory is src. Okay, src.test, see, src.test underscore resource dot underscore resource, then app colon app. Why I am giving app? Because the first API you have given the variable name as app, and the same thing we are running here, right? Well, when we are running through the program. Okay, now then once this is done, we need to pass the host and port, right? Hyphen host 0.0.0.0. this is kind of all the kind of host it will allow. Now port I will give hyphen port, it's 8080. Okay, so once our Docker file is ready, what we will do, we'll create a Docker image. To build the image, right, we need to go to the terminal and then we need to run the command called docker build. I'll tag that image as -t and then test. Our application name is test-python, right? I'll just write the same application name as test-python, then dot means from the current directory it will pick the Docker file. Okay, so if you see a Docker file, it picks the Docker file and it is trying to build the Docker image. Once the Docker image is built, right, if you go to our image inside Docker engine, see the latest image 12 seconds ago it's created. So to run a Docker image, what we will do, we'll use the command called docker run. Okay, So 8080 port I will expose, and then -d means daemon, and then my test application, and the latest is the tag, I mean the latest tag it will run. Okay, once I put the enter, if you see here, the container is created here. If I'll go to our containers, right, it's already running now here. Okay, it started 7 seconds ago. Okay, so let me go to our browser. Once I trigger the request, I am getting the response as hello code debugger, right? If we'll go here, see src test received the request, right? This is what we are getting the logs. So what we did, we created a docker file out of this application, and then we copied all the requirement.txt, and then that requirement.txt, whatever dependencies we have, right, those dependencies installed using this command, and then we copied our source, whatever source we have written, and then we ran with the uvcon command. Okay, then we created a docker image using this command, docker build, and the tag name is test-python, and then after that we ran that image using docker run command. Okay,
That's all about this video. Thanks for watching this video. Meet you in the next video with a new concept.